I'm doing a bit of work on a Morini 500 say, so that's the 6-speed 500, and had the clutch all apart and cleaned up, and was preparing to put it back together, and so I knocked all the burrs off the plates. But there's a problem with this clutch. Don't know how well that you can see that, but the stack of plates is not sitting solid. It's, yeah, I think that's, well, if I push at the back you can see how much it lifts at the side. So a good proportion of the steel plates are warped, which is often the cause of the a poor clutch action. You know, you just can't get it adjusted right, and the plates tend to warp even more when they warm up, so you end up with a dragging clutch. And this is why I always advise paying the relatively small amount extra to get a complete new set of clutch plates, friction and steel, because it avoids this problem. I've had a little search through my used plate stock, and I might be able to come up with some replacement plates, but I'm not certain that the steel plates are available separately from a whole clutch pack. So that's the first little issue that we've got to deal with. The other issue was the starter motor needed looking at, and I took it apart, and at first glance it's in really nice condition. You know, there's no grooving or burning. I haven't cleaned this. This is just how it came out, which is a contrast to how I usually see them. However, it wasn't performing well, and let's see if I can get a bit tighter in, and you can see the erosion on that brush in particular, and its mate opposite. But all the brushes were basically stuck in their holders. They weren't sliding freely, so that's almost certainly what was causing at least some of the performance issues. The other one, another common cause, was that the gearbox was dry. And if we have a look down inside, you can see the worm gear worn to a knife edge, and you can see all the debris. And again, I haven't cleaned this. This is just how it appeared. There was no oil in it. The fill plug was missing. It's if you've got an electric start, and they really can be made to work perfectly well, but you've got to be checking the oil in this gearbox every year, and probably servicing the motor every few years, checking the brushes and so on. So that's going to be a new bronze gear. The brushes, well, I mean, the brushes are okay. They're not seriously worn. They're a little bit eroded. It'll be a discussion about whether it's better to put a new set of brushes in while I've got it open, because, you know, there's the labour's probably the more expensive part of the job. That's a pretty bad worm gear. I've seen worse, because I've seen them worn to the point where the teeth were actually completely missing on one section, and it wasn't being driven at all. But that's no way that can go back into use. That's got to be replaced, and unfortunately not a cheap item. The other issue was the state of the starter clutch shoes. So it's not brilliantly easy to see, but you can see the black line of friction material bonded to the starter shoe. This is the later type reinforced shoe. You can see the gusset on it, and it's made out of steel rather than aluminium, so it's got a bit more heft to it to get it thrown into the drum. But this is another used shoe, and you can see there's a lot more meat on it. So this set of shoes is probably end of life, and need relining is probably the answer.